Okay, good call,
Hey,
my man.
shout out Ashley. She was in our own personal chat. Yeah, we get our own turkey bowl going, and then we just play like tackle football, two-hand touch. We'll see what we decide on. Typically, it's been tackle in the past, but sometimes there's snow, and that like really changes the calculus on tackle or not.
Really? I feel like it makes it more incentivized to go play tackle when it's snowy.
Yeah, totally.
Okay.
When there's
I thought you
not
meant the other way around.
Yeah, like, because this week, depending on what it looks like this week with the snow that we're going to get, yeah, like, we're just playing on a turf field, and then it just kind of hurts. And, like,
Just
we're
like
not
AstroTurf.
Yeah, we're not having that much fun then. And, you know, some guys are trying harder than others. And getting, like, tackled, I'm only 24 now, but, like, it hurts way more than, especially when I was wearing pads, playing football and doing all that. And then the other event that we do typically on Thanksgiving morning, there's pickup basketball at the church I grew up at. There's a family or a guy gets it together. So a little pickup hoops, little tackle football. But then overall, yeah, obviously NFL Sunday is my go-to there. But we got the Badgers playing on Sunday too in hoops. So it's a big week of sports. Big week of sports.
The Badgers, by the way. I don't want to put it out there, but if they bring the axe home, you might be talking bowl.
Mm-hmm.
And if that's the case, you and I have already been floating the idea out there. Depending on where this bowl game is, you and I might have to attend, be boots on the ground.
If it's like, you know, somewhere ridiculous, like we're playing in like Memphis or something, like we gotta be there.
I'm thinking like the one that jumped out to me going through it, it feels like the Myrtle Beach Bowl.
Oh, Myrtle Beach, that would be super funny.
Well, they play like an 11-2, like James Madison or something like that for no reason at all.
Bring it on.
That's it. Yeah, nobody wins on Myrtle Beach at the end of December the way the Badgers are about to.
No, you don't want to play this team right now. And that was like, the way I said that was kind of sarcastic, but like seriously, they're playing really, really well right now. And the style of football that they're playing, like you're not going to go and beat Ohio State playing the way we are on offense, but when we're playing stout defense like the way we are, just like stifling everybody as in like, you know, mid-tier Big Ten teams, it looks great right now. It looks great. And like, where were you when the Badgers held Indiana to only a 3-point lead in the first half?
No, at this point, sorry, I'm falling apart. I wanted to figure out if we had Hunter Vaughn. We're going to wait for him for another moment, it looks like here. But once we have him, we'll jump into that. But one of the things, too, when you're talking about this time of year for me, is the Ohio State and Michigan game.
Oh,
and you
that's
and I
this week?
Have not had the opportunity at this point, because you guys know I'm a degenerate with this, and we do have Hunter Vaughn on the line, so we're going to throw it over there, but we're going to come back to this in a second. Block today, Charlie, because you're not here with us tomorrow, and I want to dig in a little bit, because you've been the devil on my shoulder for the last year, every time Ohio State football comes up.
I don't even know if anyone remembers the last time that Ohio State won this game. What was it, 8 years ago, 15, 25? How long?
2019, so in the COVID year, they ducked us.
I was still in college. I was a freshman.
They ducked us.
So pre-COVID?
It doesn't matter.
Pre-COVID?
It's a good time to welcome on Hunter Vaughn from ESPN Madison now. You can hear him live on Mr. Irrelevant with Alex Strofe Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays at 12:30 p.m. on the ESPN Madison and the ESPN Milwaukee YouTube channels. Hunter is also an instrumental part of what makes the Zimbrick Honda's presentation of Prep Mania special as it is. And we just came off of the best week of the year, in my opinion, on the prep football scene there, Hunter. And mission accomplished. Did you have as much fun as I did?
Oh, absolutely. And this was one of the best 2 days of high school football I think we've seen in a long time. Every one of these games were entertaining. It was exactly what you want from it. We didn't have bad weather kind of making these games weird or anything. And even the first two games kind of being a little bit of blowouts, they were still really good competitive football games. It was a great 2 days at Camp Randall.
It was a blast, Hunter, and you got to call the D1 game that ended in one of the craziest fashions that I can remember a football game ending, where I might even let you kind of just tell us and walk us through what it was like to be in the booth. Arrowhead was leading with about 5 minutes ago. Watch Bayport travel down the length of the field, score, and just when you think the game's over, there's a return, and Bayport still gets the ball all the way down to Arrowhead's 10 when time expires. Hunter, what was that environment like? Charlie got to witness firsthand me like anxiously pacing around his apartment watching you call the game.
Well, it was crazy because we were talking off air a lot with this game where we were like, if either team goes up by 2 scores, it almost feels like that's going to be insurmountable because it just felt like everybody was having to work so hard for everything they had. I mean, the 2 touchdown drives that Bayport had was a 14-play, 86-yard drive that took just under 7 minutes to get that touchdown. Then their second one that they scored with 46 seconds left took 6:43, and they had to go 12 plays, 76 yards. So like they had to work for everything that they got. And then the second that they take that lead, Arrowhead's just like, oh, that's fine. We've got 2 national champion track athletes back at return, and one of them will get the ball, and we're just going to be fine. And then it ended up being Ryan Hyman, who took the ball 76 yards to the house to just take the lead back. And then Bayport gets a pass interference called against Arrowhead, so that gave them a first down on their what they tried to have be a game-winning drive. They then get a diving catch from one of their receivers along the sideline to get them within what we thought was going to be field goal range to try and send the game to overtime. Instead, 1 second left, they try to go for it, to go for the win. The ball falls incomplete in the end zone. Arrowhead ends up winning it. And for those that didn't listen to any of our coverage of it, I'm friends with the guy that does play-by-play for Bayport High School, so I instantly texted him asking why Steve Jorgensen didn't go for the field goal to tie the game. And he said 10 out of 10 times he's going for it, he goes for the win. 100 out of 100 he would go for the 2-point conversion to try and win a game. And he reminded me that when Steve Jorgensen was the head coach of Fond du Lac, that was the team, and he was the coach that ended Kimberly's incredibly long winning streak by going for 2 after getting a touchdown instead of tying the game. And that ended the game on that 2-point conversion. So this is what he has always been as a coach, and it just unfortunately didn't work out at Camp Randall for Bayport.
You live by the sword, you got to die by the sword. And I like the idea of sticking with who makes you who you are in a situation like that. And they had an open wide receiver in the end zone. They had the opportunity to win the game. I don't think it's a bad call. Just sometimes how that plays out. But one of the games, Hunter, here, over in Dodge County, the Mayville Cardinals got their second ever gold ball, and it was in fitting fashion as Scott Hilber got to put his name on a gold ball next to his old man's name, who did it in a very unique way about 30 years ago. Was Mayville somebody that going into the year you thought had a realistic shot to be in that position?
Honestly, I really didn't. I knew Mayville had a good program from the past year. Mayville's always been a very good football school, but they weren't somebody that I was really thinking about until we got to week 6, week 7. And I'm like, oh, they still haven't lost a game. They're getting some votes here from our media poll. And I'm like, okay, maybe I got to watch out for them. And then they go on the run in the playoffs that they did. And it's like, oh, okay, all right. They are for real. That's just, I think it's the unfortunate thing for Mayville, given where they are in the state. If they were a school that was way up north in the middle of nowhere, I actually think people would know more about them. But because they're close to the Fox Valley, so you get all of those schools, plus they're kind of close enough to the Milwaukee area, so there's just this weird split of where media coverage goes, so a lot of people don't really pay attention to them in the way that I think they would be if they were, say, in the La Crosse area or way up north somewhere. So it's awesome for them. It was great to see that, the first 5 champions, or excuse me, it was every single champion until D1 was an undefeated team this year.
Wow. Well, and by the way, too, I was going to say, hand up, I did little jot downs on what team was going to win, but going into this, I was pretty proud of myself, Hunter. Win 6-1. Who was the one I was wrong on?
Nice.
But the Dodge County team. I got bit by my own. And you know what? I got to be better than that. I will be next year.
Yeah, there's sometimes you just got to go with your heart. You can't try and overthink it. I said, though, after that D5 game, with both teams running wing T offenses, if anyone ever tells you that the wing T offense is antiquated and can't score points, just remind them that Mayville and Northwestern combined had the second best scoring output from 2 teams in a Division 5 game ever. And it was the number 6 all-time, regardless of state game, for the most points scored.
It's Big Ten football right there.
Well, yeah, that counter, it was like a reverse counter. It was beautiful. I think Mayville scored on it. Yeah, I grew up in my high school, and like our program was wing T, so I love watching the wing T offense. It's great.
You got to bring it back. I mean, I know back, you remember, Hunter, back when I was at school at Arrowhead, it wasn't a lot what it was about 5-10 years ago with that power spread. It was the veer. Mm-hmm. It was just old school triple option football. And if you run it well, you can win with anybody in the country.
You can. And like really the only problem I have with it is if you have anybody that can catch the ball, you really don't have a place for them.
Calvin Johnson, Georgia Tech.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Like that's the only problem with that offense. Otherwise, the rest of it, you can develop really great athletes that go on and do great things at the next level. I mean, heck, Jared Abradaris, Watoma High School is running the wing T. He won a state title as a quarterback. The Badgers saw he was a great athlete and were like, okay, we'll just move you to wide receiver. And he's one of the best receivers the Badgers have ever had. Like, you can develop really good athletes out of that offense.
You ain't kidding. Well, I would love to ask this. I asked this to you last year when we got to the end of this road. But of these 7 state championship teams now that we're looking at, who do you believe has the best chance to repeat and raise another gold ball in 2026?
Oh man. And you know, I feel like I responded the same way, where it's so difficult given what a lot of these schools are going to lose, but Arrowhead is going to have their quarterback Nolan Hansen back. He was just a junior. So Arrowhead, I think that might be the team given everything that some of these other schools have lost. So I'm going to go with Arrowhead. I think they've got a good number of juniors and sophomores that contributed to that team. So Arrowhead would be my number 1 pick, and I have a feeling Darlington could come back too.
They
in
were
Division
nasty.
6.
Oh my gosh, got to call that one firsthand. Who in a million years would have thought that Edgar had a shot to be running clock in the first half?
Yeah, I was blown away by that. Darlington getting out to that 21-0 lead at the end of the first quarter, like you just knew Edgar didn't have the passing ability to come back from that. So unless they were going to force a bunch of turnovers on defense, that game was pretty much over after the first quarter. But they still put up a really good fight. It was still a really entertaining game. But man, Darlington was just on a mission in that one.
Well, I want to ask you before we have to let you go today, Hunter, because I know that as much as we love the high school football season, you guys do an awful lot with the high school basketball season as well. For people that aren't as familiar with what you guys do, what is the high school season going to look like for you over there in Madison?
Yeah, we're finalizing our schedule right now, but there's going to be a good heavy dose of some Tuesday night hoops this basketball season. So we'll have a combination of either a boys or a girls game throughout the year. We've got some other big games. You know, we might be heading over to Middleton as De Pere is going to be coming down here to try and get some of those different games. So we've got a ton of games. We'll cover the Big 8 and the Badger conferences. Primarily, we might get a Capital game in there, but it's going to be a really great basketball season. There's some really good boys and girls teams. I mean, I think this could be a really good shot to see a number of Madison area schools making it to the Kohl Center, in particular, Bell Phillips Memorial, Caleb and Ezra Ligon, the twins. Those two are incredible. And two, just for those of you listening up in Dodge County, if you're a Golden Beavers fan, you might need to do some figuring out of how you're going to get between Green Bay and sectional site with the girls, I think, having a real shot to get back to Green Bay, and the boys, I think they might have a shot to get to the Kohl Center, so they'd be playing in their sectional championship game on that championship Saturday for the girls. So might need to figure out some travel plans if you're a Golden Beaver fan this year. Both teams are so good.
Well, you've been money on your predictions on this show, so you know what? I'm not going to take it to the bank. We got a lot of work to do, but that's very encouraging that you think that they're going to be playing very deep into this season. First of all, Hunter, thank you for jumping on as always. You got something? I saw our eyes pop up.
Well,
here it goes.
No, I'm not going to do it. I was debating between doing a Ohio State joke question or actually asking you, Hunter, because the Badgers beating Minnesota on Saturday could actually be like a lot of stuff has to happen, but is it more than a bit that the Badgers could make a bowl game?
It's a bit because there's like 15 teams that would need to have a combined 3-12 on Saturday for the Badgers to be in a spot. Plus, then we don't know what the academic progress report would be. So, like, the Badgers would need to essentially have a combined team GPA at a certain level and be one of the highest in order to get in. Like, it's kind of ridiculous. I mean, it's fun and it's awesome that they're in a spot where if they do win, that they are even remotely close to that conversation. But really, the win is more important to, one, get one of the trophies back here in Madison, which they haven't had for a couple of years, and then two, just have that momentum of like, okay, we saw what this can look like. We see the progress. Now what can we do next year to build off of it?
If they're going to the Myrtle Beach Bowl, I just want you to know you have an invitation to go with Charlie and I.
Road trip.
Well, depending on when that is, might have to run that one past my wife. But
that's a tough sell. With the 5-7
yet.
Badgers are going to play like a 9-4 like Sun Belt team. Can we go, please?
Yeah, that might be a tough sell. I might end up sleeping on the couch if I ask that, but I promise you, if they make a bowl game, I will ask her, okay?
All right.
That's a good place to leave. Last thing I'll ask on the way out the door, Ohio State, Michigan this weekend.
More importantly, where were you the last time that they won?
That's not important.
In 2019.
That's not important.
I don't care about that. I think Ohio State won. They're kind of tired of it. I can't confirm it, but I think Ryan Day threw the game last year because he wanted that home playoff game.
Oh, shut up.
I think this team is much better now, and I think that they feel better about the way the playoff would run, that they would rather have the bye. So I think that they're going to go for the win here. I think Ohio State gets it, and they get revenge, especially after all the flag stuff.
You know what? I'm only going to take the parts that I chose to enjoy about that. Otherwise, Hunter, you're the man. We'll be looking forward to get you.
Less.
What was that? I got to be careful what you said there before I agree.
I would expect nothing less from you, Wally.
Okay. All right, fair enough. Well, Hunter, we'll be back on our normal Thursday spot with you next week. We'll be looking forward to bringing you on then, all right?
Well, I'm going to be on a flight back from Florida, so can we maybe do Friday?
You know what? I'll be sending you some texts. We'll work this out. We'll figure it out.
Okay.
They got Wi-Fi on planes.
All right, see you guys.
Okay, you're the man, Hunter. They have Wi-Fi. That's a good point. We can get them on, right?
I didn't really realize the theory that Ryan Day might have thrown the game. That's awesome.
That is not a real thing.
Do Ohio State fans like in the chat rooms
what
think
do they
that?
call them? The lunatic fringe is what they've been barred the last year since that loss to Michigan. No, the lunatic fringe doesn't believe that. They think he's John Cooper. They just think he's back 90s. He's going to have 1 million teams ranked in the top 5, and he just can't beat them. And I'm hoping that changes this week. You look like you're just waiting to stab me. It would just
be so funny. It would just be so great.
How is it funny?
Because I won a national championship with both schools, So like I'm a neutral party in this. I've got buddies that went to Ohio State, got buddies that went to Michigan. So ultimately, like I love seeing the rivalry. That's what makes rivalry week really great in general. Because I've got 2 brothers that went to Minnesota, so we got to get the axe back from them. Because my older brother and I, we went to Wisconsin and. I didn't even get into Minnesota, which is wild because like that's a little backwards there. And that's what makes the rivalry great. That's what makes the rivalry great. So it's just a great week of sports. Feast week in hoops. We got that game. Is there even a name for
the game?
The game, right?
It's the game.
Right, yeah, exactly. It's just an awesome week for sports. I almost sometimes wish that the Packers didn't play on Thanksgiving so much because it was like Thanksgiving this year. I think Christmas last year. It's not. I'm not going to complain about playing in prime time all the time, but sometimes I just want to sit back and relax and get to fully enjoy the day and the football that's on.
Yeah, and that's the beauty as a Raiders fan. You're usually dead anyway, so you're just like, all right, cool. I just get to watch football. You guys are stressing about it.
Yeah.
So I got to wear that cap this Thursday. We'll talk about that here in just a moment too, because we got to dive into. They're in the middle of a 3-game stretch here where they're playing NFC North opponent week in and week out. We got to figure out what they have to do this next week, what we expect, what we need to see to believe that they are the NFC North favorite. And we'll dive into that a little bit more and perhaps a little bit about the game and see if...
if you want.
I definitely want. It's just a matter of how much we delve in. That'll be coming up here, 1430, ESPN Beaver Dam and Daily Dodge TV.
And welcome back to our True Crime Podcast. Our guest today is Sean Cleary.
Wait, what? We are supposed to be doing a commercial about Cleary's storage, ag, and sports facilities.
Great point, Sean. It was a warm summer evening in 1978 when a young man with a hammer.
Whoa, again, not a true crime podcast. I want to talk about Cleary designing the building of your dreams.
In a world where things aren't what they seem.
Okay, give me that. Good grief. Visit ClearyBuilding.com today and experience the Cleary difference.
It's the biggest savings event of the year. Menards, 11% rebate ends Thanksgiving Day. Save big money on everything you need for any project. We've got something for everyone. Homeowners, contractors, DIYers, the kids, and even grandma. Hurry, Menards 11% rebate ends Thanksgiving Day.
Save big money at Menards.
11% mail-in rebate is a merchandise credit check. Good on future in-store purchases. See menards.com for details.
I'm very familiar with Gruber Law Offices because they're always out in the community.
Gruber Law Offices are known to be honest, hardworking.
They're always involved in our neighborhoods.
Gruber Law Offices make our community a better place.
They are the best. For nearly 40 years, Gruber Law Offices.
Attention sports fans, whether you're chasing the hottest rookie card, that next big autographed sports card, or looking for expert card services, Real Sports Cards is here for you. For everything from sports to Pokemon cards, visit the store in downtown Waupun today. Go to the Apple Store or Google Play and download the Real Sports Cards app for all live online card breaks. Watch, collect, and win from anywhere. Real Sports Cards, where sports fans come to play.
Fox Brothers Piggly Wiggly in Beaver Dam and Mayville. Score big this fall with game day snacks, beverages, meats, and more. Stock up in store and check out weekly deals online at foxbrospigglywigly.com. Make every game day a touchdown.
On top of the world or bouncing back, there's no better time than right now to take care of yourself. Marshfield Clinic Primary Care helps you stay on track with recommended screenings and annual visits, or simply connect on your overall well-being. And if you find yourself in need of care quickly, we often offer same-day appointment options. Marshfield Clinic. Enjoy life with confidence. Explore appointment options today at marshfieldclinic.org/primary care.
Hello, this is Sandy from McKinstry's Home Furnishings in downtown Beaver Dam. I invite you to stop in and discover the Power Lift Chair Recliners. We have the largest selection in Dodge County, ready and available for prompt delivery. With the touch of a button, these chairs lift you to a standing position or recline you to a comfortable nap. You can even get a lift chair with heat and massage or with an adjustable headrest and lumbar support. Some models even have cup holders and wireless phone chargers. There are a variety of sizes in stock, from small to the big mans. Prices only start at $599. Don't worry about the power going out because the lift chairs come with a battery backup. Delivery is free. If your loved one needs a lift chair in their room at an assisted living facility, McKinstry's will deliver it. McKinstry's Home Furnishings, downtown Beaver Dam. Use the entrance in the tower parking lot, which is handicap accessible.
McKinstry's Home Furnishings, year after year. McKinstry's.
Are you aware of who's making your healthcare decisions? Hi, this is Dr. Adam Forster with Columbus Family Dental. Healthcare is a very personal thing that requires careful thought and planning. These choices should be made by you and your doctor, not an administrator or an insurance company. At Columbus Family Dental, we're a local, doctor-owned clinic, which allows us to put your health and well-being first. Call us today at 623-5559 to schedule a free, no-pressure consultation to see if we're the right fit for you.
Sometimes they have no idea what they're saying out loud. Isn't that what local sports talk is all about? Hear more shenanigans now on 1430 ESPN Beaver Dam and the Dam Sports Show, presented by Real Sports Cards in Waupun.
Welcome back to the Dam Sports Show on 1430 ESPN Beaver Dam and Daily Dodge TV. Wally Lukashenski, Charlie Dern, and Jack Wilski with you here today. And Charlie, with the big, busy slate that we have coming up here, the one we got to focus on to begin with before, we're going to kind of do an impromptu different Cover 5 picks for you today. We're going to give you our winners for those 3 games on Thanksgiving in that Black Friday showdown. But before we dive into all that, I want to look at this Lions-Packers matchup. What do you feel like you need to see to come out of this? And when you jump on Monday with me feel like this is the best team in the NFC North.
Yeah. Well, it's interesting to me because obviously the Packers looked so great on opening week, that week 1 game against the Lions, but at the same time, excuse me, the Micah Parsons trade happened, I want to say like 5 days before, less than a week before, and so the momentum the Packers had in the locker room, and everyone like, all right, Super Bowl time, like let's do it. It feels like a little bit, not that that's been extinguished by any means. I don't mean to say it that way, but we had so much momentum going into that game. The Lions had 2 new coordinators that, needed to figure it out. It was their first game being coordinators. It was ultimately like a really, really, really good spot for the Packers in that. We still blew them out. It wasn't like, and it did get a little out of hand, like we just pulled away. And that was something that I've been waiting for the Packers to do almost
Really,
since then. I guess
yes.
the Commanders game, but the Commanders are really bad. So it's...
They also scored to make it a 2-possession game with about 5 minutes left.
Mm-hmm.
There wasn't that complete step on the throat that you had the opportunity to do.
Right. And like I texted you after the Lions game, like we left early.
Yeah.
And that's the thing that we do, and I know you don't do that, and that was kind of part of why I texted you. We left because we were like, hey,
That's you
this
admitting
is
to a bit,
over.
by the way. I didn't know that if I'd ever actually hear that, but yeah, that's the reason that I ultimately got that message.
Yeah, because we were leaving, and while we were walking down the aisle, that's when Micah Parsons got his first sack as a Packer. So we barely narrowly saw it, and that would have been brutal to miss. But ultimately now we're going to Detroit, and I think that changes a lot. They didn't look good against the Giants at home. I thought that they were going to blow the Giants out last week. I know you did as well, and we talked about it with the Cover 5 picks. I'm really nervous about this one. Maybe it's because it's on Thanksgiving and I'll be crabby around, like the in-laws and all that, and not mine, of course. But
we're doing great, Charlie.
Hey, you know what? It is what it is.
Hey, we just take it a day at a time here. You just keep running the football; it'll take care of itself.
yeah, that's what I've been saying for a while now.
32. Don't do what I'm doing. Don't do it.
Yeah, maybe a little West Coast. Maybe the Packers do need to adapt and pass a little more. I think they will. I think that a lot of what last week showed us is that the Packers can win in multiple ways. If they need to just run the ball on you, they can. And the Vikings, they're not great. They're not as good as the Lions are by any means. But at the same time, the Packers proved, hey, we can win this way. And we know that they can win through the passing game as well. They've done that earlier in the season a couple times. I want to see them put it all together for 4 quarters to be fully reinvigorated by all them. And that's got to be all 3 phases of the game.
Well, and I'm like that you brought up Micah Parsons, too, because that was one of the big things that I'm excited for in this matchup. That first time they played, Penei Sewell, who's genuinely one of the best players in football, let alone tackles, was put on an island, and he really struggled with Parsons. I'm interested to see if they're confident in trotting their guy out and saying, we're betting best on best, that he can take care of Micah for most of those snaps. Because if they're able to just put one guy on Micah, that's where this defense hasn't really been tested this year. He's always getting bracketed. He always has 2 or 3 guys, the chipping tight end, chipping running back. If he's truly isolated, are the other 10 guys going to be able to step up and stop what is starting to look a lot more like the Detroit Lions that we were used to with Ben Johnson as the offensive coordinator? So for me, I'd need to see Micah Parsons be the guy that you went out and got him to be in this game. And if he does it, I truly believe that the Packers are coming away with the win, which is a good way I'm jumping in to our Cover 5 picks for these 3 games anyways for Thanksgiving. The Packers are 2.5-point dogs, so they're being effectively told by Vegas, this is a pick 'em anywhere on a neutral field. They're giving the edge, obviously, to the home team. I think that Green Bay is not only going to cover, I think they're going to win this game. I think that we're going to come back here on Monday and really look at that Bears game next week as an opportunity to put your throat on a lot of teams in the NFC North, and I don't like the grin that you put on your face.
Because I just feel like a jerk. You're right. I do think that we can win, and I do think if we do win, I think we...
Oh, Charlie Downer's coming in the building.
No. It's just...
You got your rock?
No, as a gambler, you see a 2.5, you should probably grab it, ultimately. So if we're going straight like that, if the Packers, if I could get them at a 3, I'd buy, you buy the half point, get them +3. You got a whole field goal that you can worry about. I think that would be good. Seeing the 2.5 with the Lions makes me want to grab it, and that's not cool. So that's why I separate the church state. I separate the heart from the wallet. You know, when I gamble and do it that way, that's a tough one. I'll run the ball.
Well,
like,
the floor's going to be it's just another
run
game.
the ball. Right. You know, and
Gotta execute.
Got to do a better job getting my guys ready. Right. Like, we'll hear that, and maybe not. But I'm a little scared of Dan Campbell. You know,
he's got a screw loose.
He's gonna
in the best way possible.
I was at that Thursday night game where they were just like, we know we have Jahmyr Gibbs, but we're just gonna have David Montgomery run for 5 yards every single play, right up the middle, stop us, and we didn't. And I'm a little nervous that they're gonna do that, mix in a little Jamison Williams, you know, deep ball on Keyshawn Nixon. So all right, I'll go Lions with the 2.5 here, but that's more chasing a number, which is pretty lame to do for a pick 'em, but that's what I'm going to do.
Fair enough. Kansas City is going to Dallas, and Creed ain't walking through that building. And the Chiefs are 3-point favorites on the road, coming off that big overtime win for them, keeping their season really alive. Do they get another win? Do they cover the -3 to get to themselves in a position where, kind of like the Packers a few years ago, hey, don't panic, we're going to be okay, trust the process?
It feels like the Chiefs are just inevitable, doesn't it? I mean, they beat the Colts off a bye last week. I know I missed it on the hook, but like it just feels like they're gonna just accumulate wins. And this, you know, it feels like the Cowboys that just beat the Eagles and they beat the Raiders the week before. They're riding pretty high and they're gonna get knocked back down. I think Kansas City wins this one. I'm comfortable taking 3 there. I'm actually gonna, I'm fully taking that.
It's locked in for me as well. I'm going -3. You're right. The Chiefs are inevitable, and I'm tired of betting against Patrick Mahomes once we get to about this time of year. They don't lose.
Mm-hmm.
I will not be bit by that again. Joe Burrow might be back.
Yeah, no, I think he is.
Like, firmly, if we're either way, I'm going to just throw it out there. I don't care if he is back or not. 7 is a big number in the AFC North. It's very similar to what the conference and division is up here for the Packers. In the NFC North, they're 7-point dogs on the road at Baltimore. Every time those two teams play, it seems like it's a dogfight, regardless of who the quarterback is. I think you're going to get another one. It's not like the Bengals actually are playing for their lives, but I think they can justify it in their head. They can still make the playoffs. So they're going to be playing really feisty. I don't know if they win, but I think it's going to be closer than a touchdown. Give me the Bengals.
Yeah, I like that too. I don't think Cover 5 actually updates from the original number that they post. So I'd be curious what the number ends up closing at, especially with, like Joe Burrow today. I'm not going to live my life scared of something happening. And they also they cut Packers legend Sean Clifford this week. So that I think that tells you that they're ultimately going to be activating Joe Burrow, and 7 points.
7, by the way.
Really
interesting, but it's still sitting at 7 as of right now.
So then maybe that's like so wrong that it's right.
Maybe
I'm going with the Ravens then. That's so wrong that it's got to be right. That's wrong.
All right. Well, then we got to stick in.
The Ravens aren't any good.
No. Well, it's the Lamar factor. They haven't lost since he's been back on the team.
They're talking about firing Harbaugh.
Yeah, which again, that's a very Baltimore thing to do. What else has he done since he's got there but over exceed expectations year in and year out?
Well, it's been with Lamar. It's just been like, we'll make the playoffs. It's almost been similar to the Packers.
I mean, you know you're going to get there, and when you do, they're not going to play like they did all year.
Mm-hmm.
How about the Bears? Who they're 8-3 right now.
What about them?
They're 7-point dogs at the Link in the city of brotherly love. That feels, again, I'm kind of sticking to the same thing I just said with the Bengals and Ravens.
Mm-hmm.
It feels like too many points in a game like this. You would imagine it's going to be pretty physical. I don't think the Bears are going to win this game. I do think that it'll be very tight, though. So I'm going with the Bears +7, but the Eagles are ultimately going to win this game.
So the Bears are at 8 wins right now.
Yes.
I agree with you almost all the way through that. Definitely. They're not going to win. They'll probably hang around close to that number 7. Yeah, that's a lot of points.
A lot of points.
But like the Bears' schedule right now, so they're 8 wins, technically one of the top in the NFC East, top of the NFC North. Their last 6 games, they're at the Eagles, at the Packers, home for the Browns, which that's
a trap game.
Well, the defense doesn't really travel, but we'll see. With Myles Garrett, it doesn't really matter. But yeah, at Eagles, at Packers, home for the Browns, home for the Packers, at Niners, home for the Lions. Like I'm not saying they're going to lose out.
Miss the playoffs, but
they
You have to win 2 games
That's a
there.
nasty gauntlet to finish the season. You got to win at least 2 of those to make the playoffs for sure. Probably win 3 of those to clinch the division, and it might take some help with all these divisional games that all the teams are playing in the NFC North. Yeah, I just pulled it up and I was like, wait, hold on a minute here. Like, I wonder what you could get that at like on a
The
sports
Bears to
book.
miss the playoffs right now.
Yeah.
You'd probably imagine you're in a plus, probably what, 300-400?
Because the Lions right now, because there's only going to be 3 teams in the NFC North that get in, and there's only going to be, maybe 3. It's one or the other between the NFC West and the NFC North. There's going to be 3 that get in, and whether it's the Niners or the Lions, like there's going to be 3. This is really interesting. I didn't put all this together until right now. I'm curious to see where this will all go. I mean, there's so many divisional games between the whole NFC North that it's almost going to cannibalize itself here.
It is. And that's why if the Packers are able to go 2-0 or 3-0 in the division with a win on Thursday, you're talking about being in the driver's seat. You're going to be done with the Lions at that point. You have Chicago twice. Not easy, but you imagine a split there is at least the goal, and then you should beat the Vikings the second time. If you go 5-1 in the NFC North, you're winning the division.
And that is the other point with the Lions-Packers game on Thursday is that the Lions' backs are like truly against the wall if they have any shot at winning the division. No, they didn't look great against the Giants, but neither did the Packers.
Yep.
Neither did the Packers.
Frisky team with the Giants. They're a weird one. One as we
Neither
walk
did
out
the
the
Bears.
door. Walk out the door, surprise one for you. Buckeyes minus 10 on the road against the Michigan Wolverines.
Oh, it climbed down. It was like 12-13.
It was like 12.5 at one point.
Oh, yeah. Buckeyes.
Oh, that scares me because I'm the other way.
Well, 'cause then
I'm thinking the bad guys are going to keep that within like 3 or 4. And I know it's the Vegas trap, but they were also minus 19.5 last year and lost the game outright.
So that's what I'm doing. If I'm taking Ohio State by 10, I can text you all game and be like, dude, they stink. What's going on? I heard Julian saying was a Heisman.
I hate you.
Yeah, it'll be great. That's a win-win scenario for me.
I shouldn't have asked. All right, well, good. We're going to throw it to break. When we come back, we have to open up the winter season for Beaver Dam boys hockey and hoops and girls hockey and hoops. That's next here on the Dam Sports Show on 1430 ESPN Beaver Dam and Daily Dodge TV.
This is Chris Morgan, head girls basketball coach at Laconia High School. You're listening to 1430 ESPN Beaver Dam.
Your Daily Dodge News on ESPN Beaver Dam is brought to you by Prairie Ridge Health, dedicated to keeping our community healthy with compassionate, quality care close to home. Learn more at prairieridge.health.
From the Daily Dodge News Center, I'm Terry Bell. Morgan Geyser will likely be extradited to Waukesha. The Slender Man stabbing gained worldwide notoriety. Last weekend, Geyser cut off her ankle monitor and was found near Chicago late Sunday night. A Beaver Dam woman and her granddaughter will stand trial in January accused of misdemeanor animal abuse. Police and Humane Society staff removed 23 dogs, cats, and rabbits from their home on West Mackey Street in October. They also found 13 dead animals. Authorities are releasing the name of the deer hunter who accidentally shot himself to death in Fond du Lac Saturday. He was 24-year-old Michael Kotke from Lomira. People in Wisconsin's smallest towns will be able to vote early in person under a bill that passed the state assembly last week. Rural areas would provide in-person voting opportunities for 10 to 20 hours a week during the last 2 weeks before an election. From the Daily Dodge News Center, I'm Terry Bell.
That's your Daily Dodge News Update presented by Prairie Ridge Health, where neighbors help neighbors live healthier lives. Visit prairieridge.health for more.
Choosing the right windows is key to your home's beauty, comfort, and efficiency. That's why Hometown Glass and Improvement features pinnacle windows from Lindsay. With sleek designs, cutting-edge energy efficiency, and a lifetime warranty, Pinnacle windows from Lindsay save you money and add value to your home. Plus, they meet Energy Star standards and are made in the USA. The Hometown Glass and Improvement team will guide you from consultation to installation. Visit the Hometown Glass and Improvement showroom in Beaver Dam or online at hometownglass.com.
It's the biggest savings event of the year. Menards, 11% rebate ends Thanksgiving Day. Save big money on everything you need for any project. We've got something for everyone. Homeowners, contractors, DIYers, the kids, and even grandma. Hurry, Menards 11% rebate ends Thanksgiving Day.
Save big money at Menards.
11% mail-in rebate is a merchandise credit check. Good on future in-store purchases. See menards.com for details.
You can't just hold it when it comes to serious urology issues. That's why Watertown Regional Medical Center now provides a full range of urology care, covering everything from bladder health and cancer screenings to kidney care, men's and women's health, and more. With 24/7 emergency urology services and cutting-edge technology like robotics, our expert team delivers the comfort, healing, and outcome you deserve. Ask your primary care provider for a referral or visit watertownregional.com/urology to learn more.
1430 ESPN Beaver Dam and Daily Dodge TV are proud to be South Central Wisconsin's spot for local high school play-by-play. High school sports fans are passionate, loyal, and hold on to a lifetime of memories. You can be a part of those memories and build your business's brand along the way by partnering with us to sponsor high school sports. For more info on how you can become part of the excitement, leave a message at 920-885-4442 or click the Contact Us tab at dailydodge.com.
From Durleaf Field to Lambeau Field, stay tuned to the Dam Sports Show, brought to you by Real Sports Cards in Waupun. You're listening to 1430 ESPN Beaver Dam.
If you are looking for a one-stop shop for all things sports cards, head over to Real Sports Cards in Waupun or check out their app. Whether you're into sports cards or Pokemon, Real Sports Cards has you covered. With live break streaming right on the app, you can grab individual cards on the go, be a part of a group, and watch for your favorite players and teams as the packs get open. Go to the Apple or Google Play Store today, look for the orange logo, and take your collection to the next level with Real Sports Cards. Your local resource for all things sports cards, Pokemon cards, and more. And we are really about to get geared up here for the winter sports season. We just saw the girls basketball team. They opened their season up on Friday and Saturday, getting 2 lopsided wins in the process to go to 2-0. They'll be back in action next Tuesday, but more or less it's more the same from that team. Natea Donaldson, get used to hearing her name. Emma Jolka is a beast and able to spread the ball around. And then look out for Shea Marie Ashley and Lucy Gonzalez, too. They are fast, and very active on the floor.
That was cool. I knew all the names.
Is
all
that
the
awesome?
names. Yeah, because I've been doing like the camera and like in the background typically, and I haven't been able to follow too closely. So I'm excited for you to set the table for me on the seasons that we have coming up. But I was impressed by how many names I knew. I impressed myself a little bit there.
You should be. Well, it's the beauty of what we're going to do here. You're going to know too much of Beaver Dam high schoolers by the end of the next, 4 or 5 months at least.
Absolutely. I'm really excited for that. I love watching basketball. It's like probably the game that I know the best, if that makes sense. I enjoy watching football the best, like no matter what. But hoops is probably the game I like have the best, I don't know,
X's and O's
kind of understanding of it. Yeah, especially like I love going and playing pickup, and like a lot of them will be there. I'm the guys. So yeah, I'm really excited for the winter sports year.
Well, and they're both top 10 going into the state rankings at this point, according to Bound Wisconsin, going into the year. You heard Hunter. He's already kind of telling people box out plans for pretty far into the playoffs. We got to have work to do. You can't put the cart in front of the horse, but we got the horses over there to go on some deep runs for the boys and girls basketball team. The boys basketball team, they don't get started until Saturday.
Okay.
And that happens with the Slam at the Dam, which I got to tell you guys, too. That's coming up this Saturday, November 29th, right over at the Beaver Dam High School, right in the field house. Huge thank you to JB Mechanical and Summit Automotive for sponsoring the event. It's going to be jam-packed. We have 6 games in the day. I'm not going to run through all of them right now, but you can make sure that you can go and get general tickets, general admission for $6. $6. You're going to be able to watch a lot of basketball. $2 if you're a senior citizen.
There you go.
I know. I'm getting close to that. I'm like easing in. I'm ready for my $2 and just sit and watch sports for like 12 hours. But it wraps up all the games throughout the day on Daily Dodge TV. But Beaver Dam will play Monroe to end that this year. And almost the entire team back. You're only losing 2 seniors with this group. So it's another team that this year, they're not going to be the biggest team. but they're going to be scorers all over. It's just a matter of when they do run into the Giants, how are you going to be able to combat that? Where like Oshkosh North, Corey was here today. They had one kid last year that was like the number one kid, not only in the state, he's going to Iowa State, and you're like, all right, all right, guys, good luck out there. But they're even bigger this year. They're stronger.
Gonna have to hit a lot of shots in this one.
Yeah, a lot of shots getting up in there. Yeah. And Coach Ladder, I know he's pretty fired up to see how the boys respond this year. But then going into hockey, no more rapid firing, but this is what we have this week. It's just nonstop. The girls hockey team, they have 3 games at the Arrowhead Invitational on Friday and Saturday this week, and then they get to come home on Daily Dodge TV next Tuesday for the home opener. Another team that last year was less than 2 minutes away from going to the state tournament.
That's right.
That close, and they're bringing a lot of names back, including Brenna Rhodes, who you're going to hear light up the score sheet. Feels like every single night that she's playing. Mm-hmm. So very excited there. And then how about this, Charlie? Last but not least, I know I'm just spitting fire right now.
No, it's good. I need to soak up everything that I'm hearing, and I'm going to be watching the games and watching the broadcasts.
Well, and I'm going to be on one tonight. So if you're tuned in to Daily Dodge TV at 7 o'clock, the great Wade Bates and I will be calling the opener for the boys hockey team on Daily Dodge TV. And we'll start that one right around 6:40 tonight. But then that's another team that this year they have, I think, 3 or 4 upperclassmen on the entire roster. And you're talking like 17, 18 underclassmen. A lot of growing up to do this year. But I know Coach Kraft is really fired up. Just got to figure out who's going to be the goalie this year. They're returning less than 100 total minutes on the team for that position. So as they get comfortable there, you're going to have a lot of fun youth movement that's happening for the boys hockey team.
And who's the lead man? The
Mason Posnanski last year.
Yeah.
He's a dog.
He was great, and so it's gonna be big shoes to fill with him. And I remember doing a lot of camera with watching him play, and he could really take over. So it'll be really fun to see spreading the puck around a bit.
Well, and they are going to be bringing back his 2 linemates this year. They're only sophomores. Wow. Elliot Garton and Oliver Olds as well. Or Isaiah Olds, excuse me. So they're going to be asked to do a lot more this year. I'm interested tonight to find out who's going to be on that top line with them. And you don't have Zach Shave in goal anymore.
Right.
And I was going to say, whether it was at first base or whether it was in net, nothing gets by that guy. And now he's up at Oshkosh, so we're going to have to watch him as he continues his baseball career. But exciting times, Charlie Dern. A lot of stuff coming up.
Yeah, this is the best. This is like when it truly is the best time of the year in the sports calendar. You've got sports equinoxes like every night, it seems, these days. And like there's college football on as we speak. There's college hoops on as we speak. Like I almost got to get out of here and go watch the St. John's game.
You do? We were even before. We had UMass and Kent State that are
Bowling Green.
Bowling Green, excuse me. One of the rivals there. One of my favorite college football facts for you is we're about to throw it to break. The Toledo Rockets have their rocket aimed at midfield of the Bowling Green football field, which is the coolest thing in the world to me.
That's the best.
How do you respond to that if you're Bowling Green? You just kind of like, wait, you got this one.
Why aren't they playing on rivalry week?
I don't know, actually.
That feels like a rivalry. You're pointing a missile at their stadium.
Yeah, and I think they played in like week 4 or 5. It's like the MAC world where they're just like, we'll play it Tuesday in the 2nd week of October. Enjoy. Yeah.
That doesn't make any sense.
Is the perfect way to describe that there.
Yeah.
All right, well, it's time for Who's Hot, Who's Not here on the Damn Sports Show. We're going to throw it to break, and then Charlie and I are going to tell you what fired us up positively and negatively this last week. That's next here on the Damn Sports Show on 1430 ESPN Beaver Dam and Daily Dodge TV.
Here's a look at your weatherology forecast. A wind advisory and winter weather advisory begin at 6 a.m. tomorrow morning. Cloudy skies expected tonight with a chance for rain becoming mixed precipitation. Lows dip down to about 31. Winds out of the southwest 10 to 15 miles per hour. 1 to 2 inches of snow tomorrow. I'm meteorologist Jennifer Wojcicki on 1430 ESPN Beaver Dam. Currently 48.
Keep up to date with all the latest going on in high school athletics across the region by heading to the sports tab at dailydodge.com. Local scores, interviews, and more.
Your fantasy roster is set, the smack talk is heating up, and this season, ESPN Bet is giving you more ways to ride with your squad. Introducing the ESPN Bet Fan Center, where you can instantly link and bet on your fantasy teams right in the ESPN Bet app. An enhanced sports betting experience only from ESPN Bet, the sportsbook for sports fans. Make the connection today with ESPN Bet Fan Center and the ESPN Fantasy app. ESPN Bet Sportsbook, download the app today. Must be 21 plus. Gambling problem, call 1-800-GAMBLER. Terms and conditions apply. See app for details.
Coach Saban here, and let me tell you, every second matters. Preparation is everything, and that's why I trust Kidde Smoke Alarms.
And as North America's #1 home fire safety brand, they're built to respond over 25% faster to smoke detection. Kidde helps protect what matters the most. Find it at the Home Depot. How doers get more done. #1 claim based on total household installations as of December 2023. 29% faster average smoke detection based on internal testing of smoldering wood fires for Kidde 9th edition versus leading competitor 8th edition products.
It's the biggest savings event of the year. Menards, 11% rebate ends Thanksgiving Day. Save big money on everything you need for any project. We've got something for everyone. Homeowners, contractors, DIYers, the kids, and even grandma. Hurry, Menards 11% rebate ends Thanksgiving Day.
Save big money at Menards.
11% mail-in rebate is a merchandise credit check. Good on future in-store purchases. See menards.com for details.
Some of the best high school boys basketball teams will be invading Beaver Dam High School on Saturday, November 29th for the 4th annual 1430 ESPN Beaver Dam Slam at the Dam. 12 teams, 6 games, all broadcasted live on 1430 ESPN Beaver Dam and Daily Dodge TV.
The broadcasts are presented by JB Mechanical and Summit Automotive. We'll see you at the Beaver Dam High School Fieldhouse Saturday, November 29th for the 1430 ESPN Beaver Dam Slam at the Dam.
Life is full of adventures. Get the most out of them with the help of a primary care team you can count on. At Marshfield Clinic, primary care is here to keep you feeling great when you're on top of the world, help you bounce back when you're not, and most importantly, to help you enjoy each adventure with confidence. Request your primary care appointment at a Marshfield Clinic location near you. Visit marshfieldclinic.org/primary care.
Oh wow, they're out. A triple play. Did you see that relay race?
Wally, are you just saying random sports terms? This is a football game.
I'll be honest, Sherry, I've been running on empty. My pantry's looking like a bye week. A Wally with no snack is just not a Wally at all.
Cheer up. You just need to get over to Fox Brothers Piggly Wiggly in Beaver Dam and Mayville. Score big this fall with game day snacks, beverages, meats, and more. Stock up in store and check out weekly deals online at foxbrospiglywiggly.com. Make every game day a touchdown.
It's 4 a.m. and you're sucking baby snot through a tube because she's congested. If you love her that much, love her enough to make sure she's buckled in the right car seat. Find out more at nhtsa.gov/the right seat. Brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration and the Ad Council.
The Dam Sports Show. Cover Badgers, Brewers, Bucks, and more. Presented by Real Sports Cards in Waupun. Stay tuned to 1430 ESPN Beaver Dam.
Got Chuck's on with Saint Laurent. Gotta kiss myself, I'm so pretty. I'm too right.
It's time for Who's Hot, Who's Not here on the Damn Sports Show. Wally Lukashevsky, Charlie Dern, and Jack Wilski up in the production room with us today. And Charlie, we only have a few minutes left, so I'm going to throw it to you first. Who do you have as hot this week?
I've got the Wisconsin Badgers football team as the hot. You know, that's a second-ranked win on the year. There was times like for a rock-bottom season, having 2 ranked wins is nothing to scoff at all, especially like I don't want to directly compare to Minnesota, but like they were supposed to be on the up and up this year, and there's teams that like are supposed to be playing a lot better across the country, and now all of a sudden Wisconsin's playing a lot better, and they're playing for Coach Fickle, and like it's so encouraging to watch, and it felt so good on Saturday night watching that.
It's wild how much of a month difference it can make, because a month ago people were clamoring for the job to be over. I'm not even saying people are out of that camp necessarily, but you have optimism for what feels like the first time in the program in 3 or 4 years. You get a win this weekend. We joke a little bit about the bowl, but to get to a 5-7 point, the way they were sitting at 2-5, it felt like the season was dead to rights. That would be a massive accomplishment, and at least gives you a little momentum going into the offseason.
100%.
How about Ryan Day is who's hot this week? Charlie, he's going to get it done. I'm putting a stamp. It is happening. Okay. The Ohio State Buckeyes are going to go to Ann Arbor, go into the belly of the beast, and come away with a win. It will be his second win with Ohio State against Michigan, so I got to get in front of that. But he's going to get in there. They're going to win. I don't care who's hurt. No excuses anymore. Get it done.
I'll be right there alongside with you all.
I saw the wheels turning.
As a good co-host, I'll pick alongside with Ohio State there. Like it would only be cruel if I didn't, right?
You're awful. Who's hot? I'm going to rapid fire for you. How about quarterbacks who run the ball out of bounds instead of throwing it away and take like a 5-yard loss?
Or just like a 1-yard loss sometimes.
Just like it makes no sense. You're just giving yardage away for no reason whatsoever.
Yeah, just throw it away. I don't get, like, that happens all the time.
Mr. Brightside sucks also. Anyways.
Good song.
It's awful. How about you? We got about 20 seconds. What do you have?
The Badgers, they didn't shoot well against BYU, and that's all it takes. You either, like, it's not a high-level take. Like, they had to shoot well to win the game. They didn't. They shot below 40% from 3, and that's really what did them in. Let's see what the number was. Yeah, 24%. That's not going to do it.
Charlie Downer is a good exit here as we go. Thank you for jumping on. Happy Thanksgiving to you. You won't be here tomorrow, but we will see you back Monday, hopefully with a smile on your face.
Yeah, that's right. Ashley Dobrzinski making her debut tomorrow. Should be a good show.
Looking forward to it. That'll be tomorrow. Same time, same place here on 1430 ESPN Beaver Dam and Daily Dodge TV.
This Sports Center update is brought to you by Watertown Regional Medical